Forget absolutely everything you've seen in the movies. Real-life ninjas, they weren't just these mystical martial artists doing backflips. They were actually history's most advanced tactical engineers. Today, in this explainer, we are completely unboxing the forbidden loadout of the Shinobi. We're gonna do a full teardown of 2,000-year-old stealth gadgets that were so incredibly effective, they were literally banned. This is the exact gear that allowed one single person to disappear entirely into the shadows of an opposing army. So welcome to a teardown of the ancient ninja everyday carry. Today, we're comparing these genius historical artifacts straight up against modern smart gadgets. We'll be hitting the climbing chassis, the tactical multi-tool, sensory overload tech, smart surveillance sensors, a concealed carry masterclass, and finally, the final tech verdict. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the climbing chassis. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the very first piece of hardware that made the Ninja practically superhuman. First up, we have the Shuko, or climbing claws. Now, from an engineering perspective, this is just a brilliantly designed traction system. Picture these heavy iron bands worn directly around the palms and the feet, equipped with 4 razor-sharp spikes. And here's a crucial detail. They were crafted with a rugged, matte black finish. Why does that matter? Because it meant absolutely zero light reflection during night ops. They were designed specifically to bite directly into wooden castle beams or soft stone walls. This perfectly illustrates the tactical difference between ancient necessity and modern sport. Think about it. A modern rock climber relies on rubber soles and chalk for grip, right? But the Shuko completely outperformed modern gear by pulling double duty. In a high-stakes tactical situation, the Shuko acted as a defensive parrying tool. A ninja could literally catch a samurai sword blade right between those iron claws and disarm them on the spot. It's a 2-in-1 mobility and defense gadget with a build quality that is just totally off the charts. Section 2, the tactical multi-tool. Now, let's move to the flagship item of the Ninja kit and completely shatter the Hollywood myth that these were simply throwing knives. Looking at the hardware specs, the Kunai was forged from solid, heavy iron. But its real genius? The stealth feature, the civilian cover. You see, the Kunai was originally just a regular masonry tool. This meant that if a ninja was ever stopped or searched by guards, they could simply claim to be a lonely gardener or stonemason. It was the perfect disguise, literally hiding in plain sight. Think of this as the ancient equivalent of your modern foldable Leatherman. But the Kunai was the original rugged tactical device, built for extreme field conditions. The heavy blade served as a pry bar for forcing open windows. It acted as a piton for climbing walls. You could strike it against flint and use it as a fire starter. And that little ring at the end? You could run a rope through it to create an instant grappling hook. It was just a perfectly balanced multi-purpose survival tool. Section 3, sensory overload tech. Next up, let's unbox the software of the loadout. This was the specialized gear designed specifically for escaping a 5-star wanted level. Meet the Metsubushi. This is ancient sensory overload tech. Typically, it was housed in these small, hollowed-out eggshells or really fragile paper containers. Inside, it held this completely nasty proprietary blinding mixture, a combination of iron filings, pepper, and ground glass. Now, keep in mind, this wasn't about fighting. This was about pure, unadulterated survival and evasion. The tactical execution was super simple, but absolutely devastating. Crush, lag, and vanish. When cornered, a ninja would basically smash this Metsubushi right in a guard's face. It's literally the ancient equivalent of a high-tech tactical flashbang. It induces this instant sensory system lag in the opponent, leaving them completely incapacitated by pain and blindness, which smoothly leads to step 3, disappearing into the shadows. And this builds right into the broader strategy of the Shinobi. 5 seconds. That was the magic number. The objective wasn't to stay and kill the enemy. The tech was designed purely to create a critical 5-second lag in the opponent's response time. Because in the world of stealth, a 5-second window is all a master tactician needs to make a clean escape and vanish into thin air. Survival was always the absolute priority. Another awesome tool in this category is the Torinoko smoke eggs. These actually featured a gunpowder core with a sawdust filler. When detonated, they created a massive, thick smoke screen. From a sheer user experience standpoint, this non-lethal crowd control and escape tech was light years ahead of its time. It ensured the user's survival without ever unnecessarily engaging in lethal combat. Section 4. Smart surveillance sensors. Moving on, let's explore the intelligence gathering phase of the loadout and see exactly how ninjas acted as living human radar systems. So, the Sayo Tokiko was essentially the ancient equivalent of a modern directional microphone.
It was this specialized, collapsible wooden funnel. While a modern spy relies heavily on battery-powered smart devices, the ninjas simply placed the wide end of this wooden tube against a thin sliding door or a floorboard. It perfectly amplified the sound of breathing or quiet footsteps from the other side. Guys, this is zero-power surveillance tech. By just listening through the Sayo Tokiko, a ninja could literally map out a room's tactical layout, the UI of the room, before ever stepping foot inside. They knew exactly where the guards were standing and exactly where the blind spots were. This just proves a timeless tactical rule. Information is the single most critical and powerful tool in any survival loadout. Section 5. Concealed Carry Masterclass. We are now examining a piece of gear that is the absolute pinnacle of modular hidden hardware. Let's talk about the Shinobi Zoo. On the outside, to the untrained eye, this looked like nothing more than a totally harmless bamboo walking staff.
It was the exact kind of staff carried by wandering monks or everyday travelers. Its peaceful exterior perfectly functioned as a civilian cover. It allowed a ninja to literally walk right past heavily armed guards without raising a single eyebrow. But inside, that innocent bamboo exterior, a completely hollowed-out chassis. Hiding inside could be a kusarigama, which is a chain and weight, or a concealed long-range blade. With one quick release motion, this completely peaceful walking stick underwent a rapid tactical transformation into a deadly weapon. It's a true masterclass in concealing high-performance tech in plain sight. Section 6. The final tech verdict. Okay, it's time to wrap up this teardown with a final tech review and a score for the entire Shinobi stealth loadout. I am officially giving the Ninja EDC a near-perfect 9.8 out of 10. And why? Because of its absolute tactical minimalism. In our modern world, where we carry devices that usually only do one thing, every single item in the Ninja kit serves multiple strategic purposes for survival. Mobility, defense, evasion, and intelligence gathering, all brilliantly packed into gear that just looks like everyday objects. And that brings us to the core thesis of this explainer. These weren't just tools. They were the first smart devices, designed for a world where being seen meant the end of the game. The true survival of the Shinobi relied entirely on strategic intelligence and stealth, never on raw brute force. Their gear was simply an extension of their intellect. So I want to leave you with a provocative question to test your own tactical mindset. Which strategic tool would you actually choose to carry for your own survival kit? Would you rely on the incredible mobility and defense of the Shuko climbing claws, or the rugged, everyday versatility of the Kunai multi-tool? Think about how you prioritize your own modern everyday carry, and keep that mindset sharp as we prepare to unbox our next ancient battlefield kit.
Thanks for exploring the shadows with me today on this explainer.